The manga opens in a company building. In an office, our girl, Lane Lee, is having an exchange of words with a young man who just came in. She looks furious. She tells him that their contract is already over. He replies that he knows. She asks him why he keeps showing up in her office if he knows that their contract is over. He replies that he feels a moral responsibility for her failure, so he simply couldn't ignore it. She is agitated to hear him say failure. Taking a second to think, he is actually right. She is completely broke now. The matchmaking company she started not too long ago is on the verge of failing. Meanwhile, she is pitifully living off a friend without a penny to her name. She ruminates on his word. Well, whatever she is facing is because of him anyway. Her anger rises at the thought of this. A few months ago, she infiltrated an upper-class social gathering and obtained a golden piece of information. She was walking around and sees a lady approach the male lead, Ethan Lakers. She overhears some girls in the party saying that they are surprised to see the male lead with a girl. Maybe he likes girls too. The fourth successor of the Lakers family, Ethan Lakers is looking for a marriage match. With shining British noble lineage, outstanding looks, and an excellent mind, not to mention an enormous fortune through various businesses including a winery, there is a rumor that one can't go 20 steps in California without stepping on this family's land. The family is truly the upper class of the upper class. Even if he lived with a different woman in line for 3 months each, he wouldn't be alone forever. So she wonders why he is looking for a woman. He is also handsome. She decides not to waste her time trying to understand the situation. She feels this is good couple's chance. She strolls to the male lead after seeing that he is without company, introduces herself as Lane Lee, the CEO of Good Couples. She tells him that she would dedicate her life to finding him a perfect match. Cutting her short, he tells her that she is wasting her time. Saying that there is no way he would get involved with her company, he advises her to take her life and go and gamble it somewhere else. Our girl is surprised by the outburst. She wasn't expecting that. Taken aback for a while, she decides that she still has to catch him. If she can turn him into a VIP, female members would flock into her company. She runs after him, trying to persuade him. And so, after relentlessly following him by all means and methods, she finally secured a contract. She was so happy, but that joy was short-lived. The contract turned into nothing but a bubble. Back to present. He tells her that her previous company has filed a lawsuit, that the amount is enormous. She replies that it has nothing to do with him. She feels he is trying to mock her. She continues, saying that she doesn't need help from someone like him, who was playing matchmaker and ruining someone else's life. He lets out an expression on his face. She wonders if he is hurt or something. He tells her not to act like a child, that it is because she always acts so emotional, that is why she messed things up. Her anger rises up as she hears that. She tells him that she supposes emotions doesn't matter to him at all. She reminds him that he was the one that requested the fake marriage for business purposes. Continuing, she tells him that marriage by nature is built on love and trust, that the fact that she misjudged someone doesn't mean she need his pity. He tells her that if she doesn't want his pity, then he would make her a proposal. He tells her that they should work together again, that he will double the contract fee. She quickly rejects it, adding that she dislikes him. He is surprised to hear that. She tells him that he has a very odd personality, asking him why he is so insistent on working with her company. She asks if he holds any grudge against her. He replies that he doesn't. He wonders what she is talking about. She asks him if it is affection that he has for her. He is speechless. She announces to him that it doesn't matter because she is not going to work with him. He feels so frustrated to hear that. He asks her why she keeps taking the long way around when there is an easier path. That if she needs money, she should grab the opportunity when it comes. She asks him if he sees marriage only as a way to make money. She wonders if he has truly been sincere for once. She asks him if he is a sociopath. He replies that she is crossing the line by calling him those abusive names. She tells him that he is the first person to cross the line. She asks him if he thinks that she is very easy to deal with. Coming closer to him, she tells him that if he wants it so badly he should go look for it himself, a woman who would never love him. A woman who he can get rid of by just giving her a few bucks for alimony when he gets tired of her. That description is perfect for a woman desperate for money. He brings his face closer to her and moves back immediately, causing her to slip. She nearly falls, but he holds her. He tells her that what she just did was dangerous. Still holding on to her, he asks her if she wants to know why he is really insisting on her. She is surprised. She thought it was on her company that he is really interested in, not in her. He tells her that she is useful in many ways. She can't believe her ears. He tells her that he is planning to use her the exact way she showed him before, a woman who will never love him and just happens to be desperate for money. He feels he has found a perfect candidate. He smiles and tells her that he wants them to get married. Scene opens in this cozy, classy hotel lounge. It's buzzing with soft chatter, the clinking of glasses, and that smooth background music you barely notice until there's a moment of silence. The camera slowly pans to a guy, our male lead, just chilling in one of the comfy lounge chairs, laptop open in front of him, trying his best to get some work done. He's clearly focused, eyes flicking across the screen, fingers tapping away, but then, something breaks that rhythm. Suddenly, this loud, carefree laugh slices through the mellow atmosphere. It's not annoying, though. It's the kind of laugh that turns heads. It's wild, bold, totally unfiltered. Our guy looks up, confused but curious, like, who just laughed like that? He scans the room, trying to match that sound to a face. That's when he spots her. She's sitting at the bar, drink in hand, phone pressed to her ear, and she's just glowing. Like, not literally, but there's this energy about her. She's laughing again, louder this time, head tilted back slightly, and you can tell she's not faking it. It's real. That kind of laugh that comes from somewhere deep, like she's genuinely having the best conversation of her life. He watches, totally distracted now. Whatever was on his screen. Forgotten. It's like the whole room fades, and all he sees is her. He's never seen her before, but he feels like he should have. She's not dressed to stand out, no dramatic entrance or anything, but something about her just pulls attention naturally. He finds himself wondering, what's she talking about? Who's on the other end of that call? What's making her smile so big and laugh so freely? There's no filter, no performance. It's just her, being completely herself, and somehow, that's what makes the moment feel kind of magical. Our girl in the bar is on call with her friend, Mindy. She tells Mindy that the drink she is having is so delicious. Her friend advises her not to drink too much so that she won't make a mess there. She reminds her that it is VIP lounge time now. Our girl assures her friend not to worry, saying that it is expensive, so it won't even get her drunk. She feels it is a rare reward for top employees, so she wants to enjoy it to the fullest. Her friend tells her that it is not the company that provided it, that it is the deputy CEO, so something feels fishy about it. She is of the opinion that he might have other intentions, judging from the rumor that is going around saying that he is a flirt. Our girl replies that if she gets a hint of that she would dodge him quickly. Before she do that, she intends to speak with the social elites here. She is optimistic that she might seal a deal today. She tells her friend not to worry, that this is a once-in-lifetime opportunity. She gulps her drink and orders for more. She has the dream of becoming that first East Asian executive at the Golden Wedding. Meanwhile, the male lead is still focusing his gaze at her. His secretary, Noah, walks up to him and asks him what he is looking at, adding that he looks like he is in a trance. He looks towards the male lead's direction and sees our girl. He asks him if he is looking at her. The male lead quickly denies and tells him to stop saying nonsense. He stands up and says they should start leaving. He begins to walk quickly away, leaving Noah behind. Noah walks behind him, trying to catch up. He wonders what is going on. Normally, the male lead wouldn't even glance at women. He looks around. Everyone in the hall is looking at Ethan, but our girl doesn't seem interested at all. Neither the male lead nor our girl has experienced this kind of situation before. The male lead is walking out in silence. Someone calls out to him, asking him what he is doing here at this hour. He also asks him if he has found someone. He turns and sees a man standing beside him. His name is Evans. He greets him, saying it has been a while. Evans tells him that this place is crazy for picking up women, that even the high-maintenance ones go crazy for this hotel, adding that he is here to have some fun too. The male lead looks at him with an expression that feels familiar. Evans quickly asks him why he is giving that look, that he always feels he is so special that he looks down on people as if they are insects. Ethan replies that he shouldn't get it wrong, saying that he is looking at an insect as if it were a person. Evans doesn't understand that. He tells him that he is always making things hard for people to understand. The male lead apologizes and promises to make it simpler next time. Evans remembers and invites him for one of his gatherings, adding that he has only invited people of his level. The male lead turns away and replies that he would be busy that day. Evans rushes to him, trying to stop him from going. He tells him that he haven't even mentioned the date to him yet, adding that he would have everything set up to his own taste, that he only has to show up. The male lead appreciates the gesture but tells him to take care of his own taste. Evans is angry that he has been ignored again. He blurts out that his behavior is one of the reasons weird rumors are spreading about him, that he is trying to make him believe the rumors. He asks the male lead if he is really gay. The male lead tells him that he is now asking directly, adding that he is the one that started that pathetic rumor. Evans quickly denies it. The male lead doesn't want to argue further. He turns and begins to walk away. As they move away, Noah comments that Evans gets insufferable every time. The male lead tells him not to get involved, that it won't do him any good. The male lead is just walking past the bar, heading to the door. The lounge is still busy, filled with people chatting, laughing, sipping on drinks. But then, he hears a familiar voice. Loud, confident, kind of impossible to ignore. It's Evans. The male lead turns his head, curious, and that's when he sees it. Evans is at the bar, sitting way too close to someone. And that someone? It's her. The same girl from earlier. The one with the big, contagious laugh. Evans has his arm around her like they're old friends or something more. The guy is holding her like he owns the space around her. The male lead pauses. He didn't expect that. He had no idea she even knew Evans. She doesn't look too thrilled though. In fact, she flinches a little when Evans gets close. Not dramatically, but enough to notice, like she wasn't expecting him or doesn't really want him there. Evans leans in, gives her that smug smile, and says something that makes the air shift. He's like, "So, are you enjoying the company's benefits?" It's a weird moment. His tone is playful, but there's this edge to it, like he's hinting at something more than just drinks and good vibes. Our girl doesn't smile. She doesn't laugh. She just looks at him, calm but guarded, and asks what he's doing there. And that's when we find out, Evans isn't just some random guy. He's the deputy CEO. He smiles and replies that he came here for the usual. He asks her if she took a vacation to experience a luxury hotel. That he didn't expect her to be enjoying like that, adding that she is just like every other woman. Our girl doesn't like this. She replies that she is here for market research, that is why he sent her. He holds her shoulder, urging her to enjoy herself too, that there is no need to be so stiff, especially seeing that she came all the way here. She doesn't like his approach. She wonders what is wrong with him. What is he trying to do? She carries her bag immediately. Nothing good comes from getting involved with a playboy. She announces that she would leave now. He holds her hand, telling her not to be so quick. He urges her to have a seat. She quickly drags her hand off. She asks him what he is doing. He apologizes for that and comments that he thought she could stay a bit longer and enjoy her rare vacation. She replies that he told him earlier that she is here for work purposes only. He smiles and replies that he likes work too, asking her if they should talk business now. He asks her about the information she gathered here. She is taken aback. She actually gained nothing significant. Upon reflection, she only felt even more strongly that she don't belong in this conservative high society. He continues, asking her if she thinks just sitting in the bar drinking would get her closer to the elite. He tells her that he would help her. There would be a chess meeting here shortly. There are quite a few single friends attending. He asks her if she would like to join. She thinks about the offer and asks if he can actually offer her such privilege. He tells her that it is not a privilege, that it is a test. He honestly feels that he is not sure if she became a top employee either by skill or by chance. Asking her if she knows that there are employees who are questioning her excellence. He continues, saying that the others say it is thanks to the fake marriages for business visas that Asians are good at. She replies that it is not true, that she got the contracts through proper procedures. He tells her to calm down, that everyone suspects it, that they think being Asian gives her an advantage. He urges her to take this chance and prove herself. Offering his hand, he tells her that if it is unfair, she should show them this time, that she should prove to them that it is her true ability. After a while of thinking, she decides to take the test. Scene shows the road. The male lead is in his car, his secretary driving him. Noah notices that the male lead is in deep thoughts. He starts a conversation, telling him that the woman they saw earlier seemed to be a golden wedding employee, a top employee or something. He continues, wondering why she was there with Evans and not in the office at that time. He comments that they probably have something together. The male lead is still silent, refusing to indulge his secretary. Noah continues, saying that seeing Evans with our girl means that she is quite capable. The male lead tells him to pull over for a moment. Outside, they could see a car that broke down. They recognize it and go out to meet the owner. As they approach the car, Noah can see the person clearly. It's a woman, Mrs. Sierra. He calls her by her name. The woman also calls him and asks how he is doing. He replies that he is fine and asks her how she is doing. He asks her why she is parked on the road instead of driving back home. She replies that her car just broke down, adding that she wonders if the car knows how she hates going back to that devil's house. She is frustrated, wondering why she came back here. The male lead interrupts them, telling her to leave, that he won't stop her. Noah steps aside. He knows what would happen next. These two are always on loggerheads. The woman steps down from the car and tells the male lead that it has been a while. She calls him son. She is his mother. In the hotel, Evans is in a room, waiting. The door opens and our girl walks in. She looks around and is surprised to see that they are the only ones here. He tells her that there is still some time left, that others would soon start arriving. He tells her to sit down and have a drink. Sitting down, she rejects the offer, saying that it would be a problem if she gets drunk before the game. Still insisting, he tells her to relax, that they would all like her, that she is pretty and confident. That is enough for them. She asks him if she is the only he called. This makes him agitated. He tells her to stop pretending to be innocent when she knows everything. He holds her hand, pushes her down. She is shocked. Hovering on top of her, he tells her that they should make a deal like adults, that if she gives him what he wants, he would give her what she wants. She asks him if he even knows what she wants. He replies that she has an ambition, that she doesn't feel satisfied with just being an annual hotel membership. He smiles and tells her to just say the word. She looks at him, speechless. She feels he planned this from the start. She needs to get out of here. She sees him as a pervert. She doesn't intend to let this go without a fight. She holds his chin and tells him that they should take their time talking about that after they get a little closer. He comments that she has made a good choice. He begins to kiss her. She stops him, saying that he is being too hasty. She tells him to go take a shower first. He agrees and walks towards the bathroom. She gets up slowly. She feels so sick. She wants to escape fast. Still, it would be a shame to leave him like this. She slowly tiptoes to the bathroom, take his clothes and fling them out of the window, announcing that she wants to see how he would handle some public humiliation. She immediately uses her phone to put on a siren sound. Inside the shower, he can hear it and wonders if something is happening outside. From the room she screams fire, telling him to evacuate, that there is a fire outbreak. He immediately runs out of the room naked without thinking twice, shouting fire. On the hallway, people see him and are shocked. Soon enough, he is apprehended by the security and taken away. Then he discovers that he was being tricked. Our girl is happy that her plan worked out well. She wants him to rest in peace. And so, the next day, she was wrongfully fired from the company. She walks to Evan's office, raging with anger, asking him why he would fire her unjustly and even accusing her of interrupting the company's work. He smiles and tells her that if she would just ask for forgiveness, then he might accept it. He urges her to think carefully about what would work in his favor. She refuses to apologize. She doesn't want his forgiveness. It was hopeless, but she didn't want to stay at Golden Wedding by groveling miserably. So she chooses to fight back with everything she had, even if it was life and death. And that is how Good Couples was born. Weeks after Lee Lane starts. She is in her small office. As she reminisces on what led to her losing her job, it only makes her angrier. She wants to focus on doing her best. One of her friends asks her if she thinks this is going to work well, starting a business in the middle of a recession. She ignores him and moves to Mindy, thanking her for how far she has gone and attributing it to her. The other guy is angry that she didn't even listen to him. Mindy smiles and replies that she believes in her. She is Good Couple's biggest investor. She invested all her savings in the business. She tells our girl not to lose confidence, that she should just overtake Golden Wedding in one go. The guy suggests that it would be more realistic to set next month's rent as a goal instead of what they just said now. They both tell him to shut up. He continues, telling them that in reality Golden Wedding is the industry leader. He wonders if they can really compete with it. He tries to convince our girl, saying that she knows this better than anyone else. Lane replies that she knows too well how dirty and unfair those people can be. Right now, she might just have a tiny office, but she prides herself in the fact that she is still the CEO. At Laker's mansion, his mother is with his sister, Chloe, in the garden, carrying a child. She mistakes the baby's name and her daughter corrects her. She jokingly replies that she might just have to put a name tag on their clothes in order not to mistake them. Her daughter assures her that she would get used to it when she sees them more. She begs her not to leave anymore, that she should live with them now. The male lead, who has been moving around not too far from them, looks worried. His sister notices it and asks him what the problem is. His mother comments that it might be because of her. She tries to lit up a cigarette, but he tells her that there are children there. She immediately replies that maybe she is not qualified to be a grandmother. Ethan asks her if that is the only thing she feels she is not qualified for. His sister quickly calls him, trying to caution him. His mother, looking dejected, comments that she gets hurt too, telling him that she wishes he would be more gentler with her. He tells her to sell the land her father left for her to him, that he would pay more than the market price. She replies that she can't do it, that it is something between his father and her, that it is not a promise he can easily meddle with. He tells her that the land is essential for the Lakers' new project. She replies that that is the reason she won't even sell it. She doesn't want to do anything for the family beyond what is necessary. Coming closer, he asks her what she just said, saying that if she had a shred of conscience, she wouldn't say something like that. Adding that if she left her husband and children behind to find herself, she should at least feel guilty about it. She replies that she always feels guilty about it. He doesn't believe. He tells her that if she feels really guilty, she should just take the money and disappear again. His sister holds his hand and begs him, telling him to wait, let they talk for a moment. Chloe and Ethan moves away and talk for a while. They are obviously in conflict about something. She asks him why he likes making things difficult, saying that he should be persuading her and not threatening her. He replies that he won't beg in front of her. She asks him if he intends to give up. He doesn't have an answer for that. She decides to give him a tip. She whispers something to his ears. He is so surprised to hear that. She asks him why. He replies that it is because she is just telling him to get married. In Lane's office, it's all silent till her phone rings. She immediately rushes and picks up the call, introducing herself and her business. The person on the other end thought it was a sandwich shop and ends the call when he discovers that it is a wrong number. She bends her head in frustration. She looks at her chats with Mindy, the person who invested all her savings to the business. She wonders what she would do to repay Mindy's trust. She discovers that the real competitor she have to fight against isn't Golden Wedding, but reality. She feels Jacob was right. She had been chasing unrealistic dreams. Realizing the truth now, the excitement faded, and her rational mind slowly returned. She needs to pay rent next week, and she have to share the profits with Mindy, who invested in her. She doesn't have any more time to waste. She wonders if she should contact those clients that she rejected earlier. She decides to swallow her pride and start from the bottom again. She sends a mail to an address. She feels that is her only hope. She can't persuade someone if she doesn't have the courage to be rejected. Suddenly a notification pops on her screen. It is a reply already. She is surprised. Anyways, she should have expected this. There is no way she would hear back from them quickly. She opens the message and read, she has been invited to a charity event at a VIP club. She is surprised, she wonders if it could be the one Evans gave to her. She is excited, this is her chance to get high-profile client. At the event, the hostess thanks everyone for attending and tells them to start enjoying immediately, that the party has started. Meanwhile, the male lead can be seen standing alone in one corner. Chloe walks to him and asks him why he is giving that kind of attitude, especially to the ladies, asking him whether he has forgotten their plan. Their mother worries that he would dedicate his life to the Lakers, just like his father. His sister wants him to show their mother that he knows how to love and that family comes before work. He tells her that that wasn't their plan, that it was her plan and he is not sure that it can work. She asks him if he really thinks so. She asks him what he thinks it means for their mother to attend such an event when she really doesn't like ones like this. She tells him that she would help him, that he should just cooperate. She adds that she thinks their mother is even considering donating land to the charity. The male lead is surprised, he can't stop her, he wonders if she is seriously asking him to get married or something. Suddenly, he sees the Our Girl running around, he wonders who she is. Our Girl looks around, she feels there is always someone who is single no matter the situation or event, she really wants to make a VIP client here. She sees a man standing alone, she feels he is a target, he looks calm, but his eyes are constantly scanning his surroundings. She feels he is definitely a man who needs her help. She walks to him and asks if he is here alone, adding that he seems to need a company. He smiles brightly and replies that he would be honored to have a beautiful girl like her be his friend. She replies that it is sweet of him, and suggests that they talk more about themselves. She feels he is chatterbox, yet he is so boring. He tells her that he is the eldest son of the family, graduated from one of the best schools, and is running a business as well. She thinks as she listens to him, the background check will be quick, not bad, he talks a lot, but if she spin it as sociable, it will be fine. After hearing him speak, she believes it was time to start the real work. She asks him if he believes in fate, he holds her hand, asking her if it isn't the work of fate that made both of them meet. She smiles and tells him that it is because he needs a partner, that is why they met. He is surprised, she drops a card in his hand and tells him that if he is looking for a soulmate, he should feel free to call her anytime. He can't believe that she works for a marriage agency, holding her hands, he asks her what about fate. She smiles and replies that he would help him find it together, but first, they should work on improving his boring conversation skills. This makes him angry, asking her why she would say such a thing. He is beginning to raise his voice, she tells him to calm down, that a client needs help from a professional like her. He refuses to calm down, saying that he is very furious that all the women here are obsessed with just one guy. She asks him who the guy is, and he refuses to answer, walking away. He tells her that if she is curious, she should find him herself. As he leaves, she is frustrated that her first attempt failed, then she remembers what he said. The women here are obsessed with one man, right? She feels he must be the perfect groom. She looks at the women there and discovers that they all looking towards one direction. Their eyes are intently focused on one place, and right there, a man stood out, shining brightly as if he was the only light in a black and white world. The male lead is seen walking away from the party. Noah tries to tell him to wait a moment, that if he leaves like that, Chloe won't stay quiet. He asks Noah if he is his secretary or his sister's own. Noah smiles and replies that he is his, but he cannot just ignore his Chloe's request. The male lead asks him if he really thinks his sister's ridiculous plan will work. He replies that he is not sure about that. Meanwhile, at the other end, a lady goes to greet Chloe, and they exchange pleasantries. Noah, looking at them, tells him that he feels it too, that is why he came all the way to the party. The male lead walks away, he wants to go clear his head for a while. He walks into a hall reserved for games. At a corner, some men are playing poker's game. One of them comments that the game is a lot like business, that it is all about mind games. Suddenly, he sees the male lead walking past and he calls out to him, asking him what he is doing here. He is never a fan of social gatherings. The male lead asks him if he knows the family that is hosting the party. The man replies that he knows that the party is hosted by the Lakers family, but he doesn't usually show up at places like this. He tells him that if he is here to relax, he should sit beside him. He offers him a seat. Surprisingly, the male lead accepts. The man begins to talk, saying that he heard the male lead is looking for a marriage partner. He wants to know if it is true. He asks him if it is because of the rumors saying that he is gay that is why he wants to prove himself by marrying. Ethan looks tired. No matter where he go, it's suffocating. The man continues, saying that he doesn't believe it, that he knows that it is all false rumors that are spread by Evans. He asks the male lead why the guy have such inferiority complex towards him. The male lead replies that he doesn't want to hear that name. The man continues, saying that he doesn't like Evans either, that he was recently kicked out of this hotel for running around naked, that they say it was because of a woman, an employee from his company. The male lead finds the story interesting and comments that it is so disgusting of Evans to do such. As the man talks, the male lead flashes his mind back to the woman he saw with Evans that day. He feels she is the one that is being spoken about. Our girl is seen in the hall, running towards a door. She sees a man standing beside it and asks him if the male lead is there. The man replies that he went inside there. She tries to open the door, but he stops her, saying that the area is off limits to women, that it is full of men. He urges her to hang out with him instead. She asks him if all the men there are naked. If they are not, then she would go in. She quickly opens the door and runs in before the man could say anything. As she walks in, she notices the gaze of different men. She has to find the male lead amongst all these men. Everyone is starring. She feels that it is really strange that they should be a no-women zone in this age. The man sitting beside the male lead tells him that a woman just came in, that people must have known that he is here. The male lead replies that she is not here for that. The man asks him if he knows who the woman is. He replies that he doesn't know her, but might soon find out. They see our girl coming towards them and the man tells him that she is coming for him. He comments that she is forward and cute too. The male lead looks at her. He feels today is so exhausting. She approaches him and greets him, asking him if he believes in fate. He asks her what she means, wondering if it is some kind of religion, telling her that he is not interested, so she should ask someone else. She tells him that she is not affiliated with any religion, that she just thought that their meeting might be fate, that it is just a way to express familiarity. He replies that he doesn't think that it is fate, and he doesn't feel any familiarity with her. Our girl is thrown aback by his reply. It is obvious he has no intention of talking to her. She wonders how he can be so uncooperative. But looking at how handsome he is, she refuses to give up. She is determined to have him. She tells him that she has an important proposal for him, that he should just spare her a moment. He immediately declines, cutting her short. Everyone in the room hears his decline and she is very embarrassed. She decides to hold it in. She can't leave empty-handed after coming all this way. She looks at him. He thinks she will back down from this little embarrassment. She wants to make him her client today. He tells her that she is trying to propose marriage to him, that she approached him with the intention of making him her client. She is surprised that he knows her intention. She wonders if the man she earlier met has spread the rumors. Well, since it has come to this, she decides to see it through to the end. She has nowhere else to retreat to anyway. Determined, she tells him that if he trusts and entrusts her company, they will guide him to a successful marriage. He asks her if she is trying to persuade him to trust her company. She says yes, that they are willing to put everything on the line for their client's successful marriage, even if it costs her life. Standing up, he tells her that she is doing something unnecessary. She doesn't understand. He tells her that even if the sky falls, he has no intention of getting involved with her company, so she should take her useless life and stake it somewhere else. This makes her so embarrassed. Everyone around wonders what is wrong with him. Even if our girl is being annoying, his reaction is a bit too much. Someone whispers that there is a rumor that the male lead doesn't like ladies. The other person replies that it must be true, judging from his behavior now. The male lead stands in front of her. This is getting bothersome. He wonders why he has to run into her now, of all the people. She seemed pretty close to Evans. He feels they are probably not just casual acquaintances. He wonders why the both of them were in the VIP long together that day. What kind of promises did she make in return for his favor? He stops himself, wondering why he is even thinking about that kind of thing. Somehow, he feels he made a huge mistake. This is driving him crazy. He immediately walks out of the game room. Noah is seen at the door waiting for him. He runs behind the male lead, trying to catch up, asking him where he was, that he has been looking for him. Ethan tells him that they should start going. Noah asks if everything is okay. He replies that he is just tired. Noah comments that he seemed unusually sensitive today. Back at Lane's house, she is on a drinking spree. Jacob and Mindy are there consoling her. She asks for another drink and Mindy tells her to stop. She replies that the more she thinks about it, the angrier she gets. She wonders why the male lead had to treat her like that. The way he looked at her like she was some kind of pest he needed to swat away. She wonders if she is a cockroach. Mindy asks if he really went that far. Jacob asks if that isn't racism. Mindy doesn't agree with him. Jacob explains that since it is an upper-class white gathering, they must be conservative. Our girl comments that they weren't any Asians among Golden Wedding's executives either. Jacob feels he is correct. He tells them that that is a world of aristocrats. They just want to keep it among themselves. Our girl becomes very angry. She blurts out that if that is the reason, then she won't forgive the male lead. Jacob asks her what she is planning to do. She replies that she is going to confront him directly and demand an apology. He tells her to calm down, that she is talking about the Lakers family. She replies that if the male lead is from a noble family, then she is royalty, adding that she is from the Jeonju Lee clan. At the Lakers mansion, Ethan is in his room cleaning up. His secretary comes to him and asks if he has noticed his phone blowing up, that the social scene is in a frenzy over his marriage rumors. He asks him if he is going to get married. The male lead tells him that he knows all about what him and his sister schemed together. Noah is surprised that he noticed. The male lead replies that he would be a fool not to have noticed it. Noah tells him seriously that Chloe is really worried about him, that she told him that he closed his heart because of the wounds from her childhood. The male lead tells him not to talk about anything related to his mother, adding that he and his sister are worrying about meaningless things. He tells him that there is only one reason he is going along with his sister's plan. He only needs his mother's land, which will make the Lakers family's business thrive even more. He tells him to tell his sister not to hold on to any pointless expectations. Nothing would change. Outside, Noah tells Chloe what the male lead said. She comments that her brother is so stubborn. She wonders where he got his stubbornness from, adding that she still thinks her mother always feels indebted to him. Noah asks her why her mother still holds her ground then. She replies that it would be that it's because of that land that her mother and her brother are still keeping in touch. She tells him that she now understands why that particular land was inherited by her mother. Her dad wanted her brother and her mother to reconcile. If the land ends up going to her brother like this, there is a possibility that their family would be scattered forever. He tries to console her. A noise at the gate distracts them. There, our girl is seen at the gate arguing with the security. She wants him to let her in. The man tells her that if she doesn't have an appointment, then she won't be able to enter. Noah and Chloe looks at the disturbance. He decides to go and handle it. He walks towards them and asks the security what is happening. The man tells him that our girl is insisting, demanding to meet the male lead without notice. Our girl sees Noah and recognizes him as Ethan's secretary. She tells him to let her in. She asks him why he only leaves messages telling her to wait on her email or phone and never actually gets back to her. Coming out to meet her, he apologized for his actions, saying that it was meant to be a polite rejection, but it is obvious she misunderstood. He tells her that showing up like this puts them in an awkward situation. Pushing her gently away, he tells her to go back and he will arrange a meeting another time. She tells him to wait, trying to stand her grounds. She asks him why he would say that she has put him in an awkward situation. She tells him that awkward is the situation she had to endure because of his boss, that she has something she needs to hear regarding what transpired the other day. Noah tells her that the male lead has another appointment, so she should come back next time. Meanwhile, Chloe approaches the gate and asks our girl to explain to her what is happening. She introduces herself as Ethan's sister. Our girl looks at her, so she is the male lead sibling. No wonder they look alike. She immediately greets her and tries to introduce herself, but Noah blocks her way and whispers to Chloe. He tells her that our girl is from Golden Wedding, that she is someone Evan sent. Our girl wonders what they are whispering about. She can't just back down and be misunderstood like this. She immediately introduces herself as Lane Lee, the CEO of Good Couples, offering her card. Chloe is surprised that it is not Golden Wedding. She quickly holds her hand and tells her that there seemed to be a misunderstanding between them. Adding that today is her brother's fieldwork day, so he is not here. She tells her that she will make sure to introduce her to him next time. She tells Noah to get a car to take our girl back, then see her later. She feels something interesting happened. After Noah is back, he goes to meet her in her quarters. She asks him about what really transpired between Ethan and Lane, and he tells her. She is surprised that her brother really acted that way. He affirms, saying that he did so, that it was so embarrassing that she would have been shocked too if she was there. She feels her brother and our girl seems completely opposite, like fire and ice. She feels they have something in common. She tells Noah to contact our girl and tell her that she will arrange a meeting soon. He is surprised. She tells him that she had already promised the girl, so she has to go ahead. He tells her that he doesn't think the male lead would make time to clear a little misunderstanding. She tells him that he has to trust the instinct of a married woman. He wonders why he addresses herself as such. She tells him that she doesn't think this is just a small misunderstanding. Days later, the Lakers family are having lunch and Chloe suggests hosting a party. An elderly woman is surprised, asking her why she suddenly thought of that. The woman's name is Helen Lakers, the grandmother of Ethan and Chloe. Chloe replies that it is almost summer, which is the perfect season for celebrations. The male lead comments that it is not a good idea. The Lakers family shut its door 30 years ago, when John Lakers insisted on marrying Sierra, and Helen's heart closed tightly along with it. The male lead tells her to cancel the party. She replies that this is all for his sake. He asks her what she is planning to do this time. She blurts out that she thinks her brother wants to get married. Their grandmother asks if that is true, asking if he has a family in mind. Chloe tells them that that is the reason she wants to throw a party, that it is the perfect way to meet new people. Ethan tells her that he would handle his own matters alone. Their grandmother interrupts, saying that Chloe is right, that in these matters, it is best for a woman to take charge. She tells Chloe to find a good match for her brother. She gladly accepts it. The party day, people are seen in the compound marrying and having a good time. Little clusters were formed by acquaintances, and they discuss. Our girl walks in, she looks around. Finally, she can now step inside the compound. An invitation had arrived from the Lakers family. As she reads the invitation in the presence of her friends, Mindy wonders why they have to send a party invitation just to apologize. Jacob comments that it is just a typical upper-class tactics, adding that those prideful people won't meet her just to apologize. That they are only using the party as an excuse to sweep it under the rug. Back to present, our girl doesn't want to let it slide like that. As she walks, she looks around finding the male lead. Suddenly, she comes in front of Mark Evans. He asks her how she got here, that this place isn't for someone like him. He has a broken arm, and a bandage is placed there to help him. He asks her which poor guy have she tricked this time again. She doesn't understand. He tells her that it is her specialty, that she pretends to be innocent and end up deceiving men. That it seems she have hooked another fool this time. She tells him that it is because he got drunk, caused a scene, and ended up getting thrown by security, that why he broke his arm. He tells her to shut up. Coming closer, he tells her that they still have unfinished business, that she shouldn't forget what she promised him. She tells him to wait for a moment, that she would give it to him very soon. She puts her hand in her purse as if trying to remove something and abuses him with her finger. This makes him furious. She runs away from him quickly. He tells her that he would kill her if he catches her. As she runs in the corridor, she is happy with what she did. She feels she would have put him in his place ever since. It feels so refreshing for her. She gets to a turning point, and because she was running, she couldn't stop. She crashes into the male lead who was walking out. They both fall to the ground. At that moment, the carrier of the cake was coming their way and he didn't see them on the floor. The table hits them and the cake flies to the air. The cake lands straight on Ethan and Lane. It's a full-on mess, frosting, cream, everything just splattered all over their clothes. The servant who drops it looks completely terrified. He rushes over, his face full of panic, and quickly asks them if they're all right. His voice is shaking, like he's expecting to get fired right then and there. Ethan sits still for a moment, cake dripping off him, and he just wonders to himself, why does nothing ever go smoothly? Not one thing. It's like the universe is always out to test him. He's trying to hold it together, but this moment is just too much. Then looking up, he sees her. And he freezes. He didn't expect to see her again, not here, not now. But there she is. She's just a few feet away, and the second her eyes meet his, she lights up. She calls his name like she recognizes him right away. And in that moment, all he can think is, why does it have to be her? Of all people, of all the faces to pop up again. Just when things are already chaotic. It had to be her. He asks her what she is doing here. She replies that he invited her with a pretty card that said, "Dear Lane Lee." He is surprised to hear that. He tells her to get off him immediately. She didn't hear him and he repeats himself, this time, shouting. This makes her scared. As she tries to get up, she slips and is about to fall on him. He holds her and asks her what she thinks she is doing. The cake pieces makes him slip and he falls on top of her. They stay there for a second. His mouth mistakenly touches hers. He feels something and he wonders why he has such a feeling. Immediately he stands up and rolls over. Our girl can't believe it. She wonders if she is going crazy. Their lips definitely touched. He looks at her. He feels she is bad luck. They are still on the floor when Evans walks to them. He comments that this must be a pretty picture. He looks at her and tells her that he now knows why she is here, that she obviously seduced the male lead. Our girl gets up and tells him that he is wrong, that he should stop talking nonsense. He continues, saying that he has always known that she is that kind of person, that she has no other skill other than using her body, that it seems she hasn't learnt her lesson even after being fired. The male lead is surprised to hear that she was fired. Evans continues, saying that he heard she opened a new company, but it isn't going so well, asking her if that is the reason she needed a man to use. She walks to him and tells him to stop talking rubbish, that he was the one who tried to use him and when things didn't go his way, he fired her unfairly. She adds that as if that wasn't enough, he even made sure that she couldn't get rehired somewhere else. People are beginning to gather. Evans laughs her off and tells her that he won't waste his time on that low lives like her just live with delusions. Then, the man she approached the other day comments that she had approached her before, that she was flirting heavily and then started to promote her company. Evans quickly announces that everyone should be careful of her, that she is complete gold digger. Our girl becomes so angry, she uses her head to hit his mouth. He is injured. She asks him if he wants her to break his other arm too. He is shocked and asks her if she has a death wish. He raises his hand to hit her, but someone holds it in the air. It's the male lead. He tells Evans that he should stop, that it is enough. Chloe comes to see the commotion and runs to our girl, taking her away from Evans. She asks him why he is so rude to a guest of their family. He is surprised to hear that. He replies that our girl is just an Asian who doesn't come close to high society. Chloe is surprised to hear him say such. She tells him that he should be ashamed of himself. People around begin to talk about him, saying that rumors are flying out that he often harass female employees, and that is how he broke his arm too. They feel he is a disgrace to the Evans family. He tries to defend himself but no one is listening. Ethan walks to him and tells him to leave immediately. He is surprised. Minutes later, Chloe asks our girl if she is okay. Our girl asks her why she was invited here. She replies that she would explain later. That there are many eyes here. She suggests that they move to somewhere else. The male lead also says that he would like an explanation of what is going on too. As he comes closer to them, our girl discovers that he is so tall up close. Chloe suggests that they go clean up, that they look messy. She takes our girl away, saying that she has some clothes for her. She tells her brother to meet her in the office soon. Few minutes later, our girl is dressed up. Chloe commends her beauty, saying that the clothes suits her. She teases if she hasn't really been in the high society before. Our girl tells her to stop. She asks her if she knows how exhausting her lives see. Saying that for ordinary people, just saying apologizing is enough, that there is no need for extravagant things like parties. She wonders if it was just to put her down. Chloe calms her down, saying that it is not like that, but she doubts that she would believe anything she says right now. She tells her that she would make sure whoever upset her apologizes first. She leads her out of the room. They walk to the office. She tells her that Ethan would be there waiting. As they open the door, they see him with his secretary. He welcomes them and offers them a seat. She looks at him, thinking he is just trying to act polite now. As she passes him to the seat, he discovers that she has the same scent with him. He looks at her and remembers what transpired earlier. Those lips were quite soft. He immediately chides himself, calling the thoughts useless. Immediately after an awkward silence, she tells him that they should get straight to the point, saying that he must have something to say to her. He asks her how she got here. She replies that that is not what she wants to hear. He tells her that is the only thing he have to say. Chloe interrupts, saying that she is the one who invited our girl. She continues, saying that she heard that he made a big mistake with our girl, so she thinks he should apologize, that they should clear up all the misunderstanding here. Our girl asks her what misunderstanding she is talking about. Chloe continues, saying that the male lead mistook Lane for a golden wedding employee and even thought that she was very close to Evans personally. She knows that the male lead really dislikes Evans. Our girl now knows the reason he was so rude to her that day. The male lead thinks about it. It was a misunderstanding, but it was still a mistake. He wonders why he made that kind of mistake. He knows that it is clearly his fault. Suddenly, he apologizes to her. Noah is surprised. Ethan apologized? With his pride? Even Chloe is very shocked. Our girl asks if that is all, adding that she thought he disregarded her because she is Asian. He tells her that he doesn't discriminate like that. She smiles and tells him that he has a surprisingly cute side. He doesn't understand what she is saying. She tries to repeat it and he immediately tells her to stop. Our girl comments that he is cuter when he is mad. Chloe likes what is going on. She stands up and announces that they are both making up, saying that just saying sorry isn't enough, that he needs to compensate our girl for the mental stress she endured. Our girl is excited. Does she means money? She replies that she doesn't want the money. Inside her, she really do like money. She needs it. Chloe suggests then that he should request a matchmaking service for himself from Lane. He refuses, saying that it is nonsense. Chloe tells him that he doesn't have any choice because he hates social gatherings. He really needs expert help in this area. She turns to Noah for support. Noah supports her, saying that she is right, that the reason our girl wanted to meet the male lead in the first place is because of the business. Our girl replies that he is right, that he was trying to treat Ethan as a VIP. She accepts to do it for him. The male lead tells everyone to leave. Chloe tries to persuade him. He refuses, saying that he would handle his own matters, that just listening to this is making him upset. Our girl walks to him and asks if she is being rejected again, saying that she is different from other couple managers, that she truly wishes for her client's happiness and won't just complete the required sessions and forget about the results. She tells him that until he finds a partner he desires, she can introduce him 100, even 1,000 times. Offering her hand for a shake, she tells him that she will take responsibility for him. He looks at her, speechless. Everyone is speechless. There's a knock on the door. It's not loud, but enough to break the silence in the room. A voice follows right after, asking if anyone is inside. Chloe freezes for a second. She knows that voice. Her eyes widen just a little, and her whole expression shifts. It's not just surprise, it's something more. A mix of shock, confusion, and something she can't quite name. Her heart skips a beat, and she slowly turns toward the door, not sure if she should respond right away. Chloe asks her mom. Her mom steps into the room to join the gathering. The mother of the Lakers says that there seemed to be some commotion at the banquet hall earlier. Are they all right? She looks worried as she observes the well-being of her children. Chloe beams and says that she's fine, they were just having a quick chat. Her mom says that still, she couldn't help but feel concerned. Our main girl, Lane, says oh no, she's really fine. She gestures to Ethan, Noah, and Chloe and says it's thanks to the people here who helped her. She looks at Ethan and thanks him for his concern. He looks away from her in annoyance and wonders, huh? Sierra notices that he's being cautious. He doesn't seem to be in a good mood either. What's with the atmosphere in this house? Then she says out loud that she's glad to hear that. well then, she'll take her leave. Chloe tells her mom to wait a moment and rushes to her. She grabs her hand and says that she came at the right time. There's something she wanted to discuss with her. Lane is the head of a marriage agency. Our girl blushes and looks in wonder as she's curious why they're suddenly talking about her. Chloe continues to speak, saying that she was thinking of asking Lane to arrange a match for her brother. What does her mom think? Sierra says that Ethan's going on a matchmaking date. Chloe asks her brother if he's okay with that, right? Our main heroine wonders what kind of conversation this is. Surely, they're not playing mind games without her, and what's with this awkward silence? Our guy exhales, looking frustrated, as he says fine, let's do that. Lane says what? Just earlier he was so against it, throwing a fit. He gets up in her face and says Lane, he'll trust her to handle this for him. He's counting on her. She looks at him surprised and makes a confused noise. She wonders if he suddenly agreed. This feels off. He thinks that why is she smiling? He can't afford to refuse, given his situation. Well, this might work better for him, he just needs to focus on doing his job. Lane takes a glass of wine from the tray and says all right. She raises her glass to make a toast and says here's to Ethan Laker's successful match, cheers. Next, we see our main guy signing on a piece of paper. He gives it to our girl, and she gushes over it, saying there, with that, the contract is finalized. She asks him if he has any specific conditions he'd like to request. He looks away from her in an annoyed manner and says none. Then she maintains her composure despite his indifference and says if he's holding back because of pride, he shouldn't worry. Conversations with their clients are strictly confidential. He stands up in annoyance and rests on the table, asking her if she is implying that he needs to set conditions for matchmaking. She still tries to maintain her composure as she says well, it's better to align preferences when meeting someone. She sighs in her head and wonders what's the issue now? He gets up from the table and goes to the window and looks through it as he says that he thought she genuinely wished for the client's happiness. He guesses by happiness, he meant meeting their conditions. She wonders if he truly intends to marry purely for love. She wonders well, then she'll have to do her best to support him. She reaffirms her thoughts as she sees him in a new light. She says out loud that starting tomorrow, she'll send him profiles of potential matches twice a week via email. If anyone catches his interest, they'll arrange a meeting right away. He says that's far too frequent. He thinks that this matchmaking is just a facade to appease his mother until the land issue is resolved. There's no point in spending much time on something he doesn't care about. He'll have to drag this out just enough. Isn't it careless to throw her introduction so freely? He'd prefer if she approached this with more deliberation. She says that she's serious about this, she's fully prepared to give it her all. He says that giving it her all isn't what matters. Our girl complains, saying that this is so frustrating. He gets up in her face and snaps, saying isn't she supposed to be different from other matchmakers? Shouldn't she figure out what he wants? She pauses, then says, but then she wonders what does he want her to do then? Next, we see our girl looking homeless as she sits on her bed having a phone call. She thinks that even for a moment, she thought this man was sincere. What a fool she was. On the phone, the client complains to her, saying seriously, how could she introduce someone like that to her? Does she have any idea who she is? How could she treat her like this? The customer continues to nag, saying she didn't trust this tiny marriage agency from the start. She must have been crazy not to go with Golden Wedding instead. Our girl asks her to tell her what happened. Securing a matchmaking contract for the upper class was already a miracle for a new company like theirs. It was so difficult, they put in an enormous amount of effort into the pairing. Our girl thinks that she even carefully planned the date course, so why does it feel like all her hard work just crumbled into pieces? The customer tells her that the man left the venue less than 10 minutes after arriving. Our girl jumps up from bed and says what, 10 minutes? The customer tells her that's not all, he even said that he thought he might be emotionally numb. Our girl's eyes widen at her words. Our girl scrambles from bed and gets dressed while still on the phone, assuring the customer that she'll investigate and find out what happened. The customer says that there's no need, she's cancelling the contract. And she should pay the penalty fee too. Lane comes down and sees her female best friend, who asks her if she's okay. Our girl says Mindy, she's just honestly so curious about this Ethan Lakers. Cindy calls out her name and says she should please calm down. Next, we see our girl bursting into our main guy's office. She bangs the door as she walks in. Ethan looks up from the papers he's signing and asks her why she's so upset. She asks him if he really doesn't know. Lane asks him why he said something so unnecessary at the matchmaking meeting. He shakes his head nonchalantly and says that he didn't feel anything, even when sitting across from her. Isn't that what being emotionally numb means? She shouts, "Sir." He rests his hand behind his head and leans back into his chair, saying that he feels bad for her, but he truly didn't feel a thing, such a shame. She puts her hand on her waist and asks him if he even tried. He left after only 10 minutes. He argues that yes, he's a very busy person, he doesn't have time to waste pretending to connect with someone who doesn't suit him. Our girl slams her palms on his table angrily and says, "Excuse me, Mr. Lakers, does he even want to get married or not?" She gets up in his face, and he looks surprised at her gustiness. We see our girl say that didn't they agree to do their best with this match? He says that he is also deeply disappointed with the current situation. As soon as they sat down, instead of introducing herself, she started introducing her family. She went into great detail about their wealth, future prospects, and more. He sighs in frustration and says that he didn't come to the meeting to find a business partner. She says that wasn't mentioned in their profile, though. He says that this kind of matching makes him question whether he should continue the contract. Our girl breaks a sweat as she asks what exactly does he mean by that? He says that they should end this here. Our girl looks at him frantically and asks pardon? Our girl argues that they can't just end it like this. How can he terminate the contract over one failed meeting? If he lets her know what was lacking, then she can ensure a better match next time. He gets up from his chair and says that the issue was not with her, the manager, it's simply that their goals don't align. He walks past her and waves her away, saying that he trusts she understands his intentions. She should please take care on her way out. Our girl thinks that no, she can't let it end like this. She says no and grabs his wrist. It's not that their goals are different, he just doesn't understand yet. Has he even once answered her questions honestly? He just stood by, watching her struggle all on her own like it was someone else's problem. He asks what she is doing right now. She tells him that she can't let it end like this, he should tell her what direction he wants to go. Then she'll adapt to that direction. He tells her to let go of him. She says not until he answers her. He thinks that this is so awkward, she keeps touching him. He can't push her away too hard, or she might get hurt. What should he do? She should just let go of him already. He to push her away and says that she should let go. She tells him that she won't let go, not until he answers her. Our favorite secretary walks in. Noah looks at them and breaks a sweat as he asks what's going on here. Are they two already at that stage? Both individuals echo a no. He tells him to get the woman away. Noah holds on to Lane and tries to release her from our guy, saying that she should calm down and talk this out. Our heroine argues that they should do this. She urges him to agree to meet just 2 more times. After that, she won't insist anymore. Our girl adjusts his suit as he grumbles out, "Fine, fine. She should just let go already." She releases his arm and looks pleased as she says, "Really? No changing his mind, okay? Oh, one more thing, from now on, she'll be attending the meetings with him." He looks startled at her words as he asks what? Why? She says that because if he goes alone again, he might ruin it with more strange comments. She'll sit at a nearby table and step in to help if needed. He looks at her and breaks a sweat as he asks help with what exactly? Noah looks at the duo with an easy smile as he thinks that Ethan looks really uncomfortable. It seems Lane doesn't fall for his usual tactics. It looks like they've met a real challenge this time. Our girl winks and points at our guy as she says that she'll see him at the next meeting. 1 month later. We see Lane looking crossed as she grips her cup of coffee in one hand and holds her phone to her ear with the other. She says that he's not available today either. Noah laughs hastily and says that he doesn't know what to say. Our girl sighs and says that if he's really sorry, then he should let her meet Mr. Lakers. He tells her that he keeps mentioning it, but he's been disappearing more often these days. Honestly, it's unlikely she'll meet him today, Lane. Our girl starts wondering if this guy is avoiding her on purpose. She drops the coffee angrily on the table and asks Noah where he is now. She'll go to him herself. Noah tells her that Ethan is at the vineyard in the west. When the grapes are ripening, Ethan practically lives there. Next, we see our main guy lying under a grape tree, resting from the day's work. Next, he hears someone shout his full name, and he wonders if he's that tired. He thinks he just heard someone shout his name. Our girl shouts his name and appears from some bushes, shouting, "Found you." He gets up with a jolt as she appears. He asks her what she is doing here. Why is she here? She laughs, straightens out her clothes, wipes away her sweat, and says well, it seemed like he had forgotten all about her, so she came to find him herself. He gets up and says that today's look is definitely unforgettable. He observes that our girl is wearing a corporate outfit with heels. She says that looks who's talking, he's quite the sight himself today. He asks her if she walked all the way here. She says that should she have taken a helicopter? Her feet are killing her. He tsks and says who wears heels to a place like this? She tells him to excuse her, she came here to scold him, not get scolded. He places a cloth on the grass and pats it. He tells her that fine, she should sit here first. Our girl stares at him wide-eyed as she thinks, what's this? Did he just lay a towel down for her to sit on? Surprisingly thoughtful, isn't he? He doesn't look at her as he says, what, she can't sit here. Then she can just stand. She jumps onto the towel on the floor and says chirpily that nope, no complaints here, this is perfect. By the way, sir, why hasn't he been replying to her emails? If he doesn't respond, she can't move forward with her work, can she? He tells her that he's been busy. She still keeps a smile on her face as she says, oh, so a busy man spends his time napping here. He says no, he was taking a short break. He's been working non-stop since morning. Then he looks into the wind and says that this is an important time, what they do now will determine the wine's flavor and aroma. So every day, he does his best to take care of it. She says that he treats these grapes like they are his own children. He says they're that precious to him, he's put in so much effort and time for them. These grapes, especially, are a very delicate variety called Pinot Noir. For Pinot Noir to reach its best flavor, it needs plenty of sunlight. But not too much heat, or it'll spoil. Its thin skin and tender flesh make it easy to damage, that's why it needs just the right amount of shade. She says oh and blushes as he says this. She thinks that hearing that makes him look a little different now. He says they're difficult, and that's why he likes them. Managing the legacy vineyards of the Lakers family would have been enough, but when he started this place, he realized something. He finally turns to look at her and gives her a dashing smile, saying that no matter how challenging it is, he'll carve his own path, that's what he wants. She looks at him with marvel and thinks that he really loves this work. Maybe he's not so bad after all. Our girl realizes that he really loves his work. She thinks that no, seriously, why does he keep causing chaos with all this charm? Then she asks him if he knows what. He just told her for the first time what he likes. He looks at her confused and asks if he did. She tells him that she thought his talk about being emotionally numb was true because he was so cold. Then she says that she likes it too. He looks at her confused, and she repeats it. He asks her what nonsense is she trying to say now? She asks him why is he so serious. He looks at her confused, and she explains to him that since he told her what he likes, she's telling him what she likes too. She says that for her, she loves it when they share their stories. He scratches the back of his head and wonders, wait, that's it? Then he asks her who asked about what she likes. She fumes and crosses her arms across her chest as she says that his personality is seriously weird. He tells her that he knows. She echoes that he knows. Then he also knows that if he keeps acting this way, he'll never get married. He tells her that it's not that he can't, it's that he doesn't want to. She looks annoyed as she says sure, whatever he says. She gets up from the ground as she says that he said those grapes are more precious to him than diamonds, right? She offers her hand to him and says that to her, he's like those grapes. So he should please let her help him. He looks at her hand skeptically. He takes her hand and says that he'll think about it. She tells him that he shouldn't just think, he should give her an answer. He begins to stand up while holding her hand. He says that it's fine. Then she moves forward due to his weight, and she falls on him, and he falls onto the ground. Both of them turn red. He asks her if ruining other people's clothes is her hobby. Then he helps her up, and he gets up. He says that first, she covered him in cake, and now this? She says that it wasn't intentional. He tells her that if she repeats a mistake, it's intentional, she should please stop making mistakes with him. He walks away with her still standing behind him, looking sad. Then he remembers that she came looking for him in her heels. Then he thinks that honestly, she is such a pain. Seems our guy isn't very fond of our girl. Next, he waits for her, and she catches up to him, and they begin walking together. Next, we see Ethan's second blind date location. It's a classy restaurant, where everyone is wearing corporate outfits. Our guy sees that Lane showed up, and as promised, she is seated at a table not far from his. He thinks that she actually showed up. He doesn't look happy to see her, and she gestures for him to smile. He admits to himself that he hesitated out of guilt, and now look what happened. Well, a promise is a promise. Then she tries to tell him something, and he wonders what she's saying. Then he notices something and smiles widely at her. He finally figures out what she is saying. She's saying that he looks really amazing today. He thinks that he can't say that doesn't feel good. Then a pretty dark-haired woman walks to him. She says that it seems like he's having a good day. She puts a strand of hair behind her ears and says hello, he must be Ethan Lakers. He gets up and says yes, hello, nice to meet you. He helps her into her seat, and she thanks him. Our girl watches the interaction and thinks that she has to admit, his manners are really impressive. Does he treat everyone like this? Pulling out chairs, escorting them? She can't help but wonder what it would feel like to be treated like that. She guesses she would fall for him, wouldn't she? Of course, she would fall for him. Handsome, rich, and even polite, if this meeting goes well, she can say goodbye to that stubborn person. That'll be such a relief. Does she feel this way? She is starting to feel attached in a weird way. A waiter approaches our girl by her table and asks her what would she like to order. She says that she would want wine, please, something strong. Our guy holds his own glass and says that this is nice, the aroma is rich. His date smiles at him and says that she's glad to hear that. She was worried he might not like it. Recommending wine to the owner of California's finest winery must take a lot of courage, wouldn't you agree? As the date dragged on, our guy seemed to realize that this woman, who claimed to love wine, seemed to be a surprisingly good conversationalist. He tells her that he didn't know much either, he just knows a little more thanks to the family business. She didn't prattle on with unnecessary bragging, and she didn't bring up marriage awkwardly on the first meeting. She admires him and tells him that he is very humble. It's not humility, there's always so much more to learn. She says that he's very passionate and impressive. He crosses his legs under the table and asks her if he is. His sister always worries about him though. He thinks that it's time to steer the conversation elsewhere. He tells her that a man obsessed with work tends to leave his family lonely. She says that she supposes that could be true. He admires his date's beauty, and then notices our girl drinking wine, and he thinks what did he just see? Our girl is reddened, and beckons on the waiter. He wonders what is she doing? Drinking wine so casually without any decorum. She gulps the wine from the bottle. Our guy tells us that wine, after all, is meant to be sipped slowly, to enjoy the bouquet in your mouth before elegantly letting it slide down your throat. A bouquet is an aroma that develops after wine matures. This is the proper etiquette for wine, a way to honor the effort poured into creating it. He thinks, and yet, this woman completely disregards all formality, drinking wine like she's downing water. He breaks a sweat as he watches Lane intently. His date calls him by his last name to get his attention. He returns his attention to her and apologizes, and she asks him if he saw something interesting. He clinks his glass with hers and says no, he just felt like he was looking at a barbarian, she should pardon him. What were they talking about? His date reminds him that he was saying he respects people who are deeply passionate about their work. She'd love to see how wine is made with her own eyes someday. Our girl notices his wandering eyes and gestures at him to focus on his date. He thinks that he can't focus thanks to her. Our guy says, "Oh really?" Our girl starts gesturing widely while his date asks him what he is staring at so intently. She begins to search for what captured his attention. She asks if there is something fun going on over there. He tells her, no, nothing. Her glass is empty, would she like another? He adds more wine to her glass. She thanks him, and he says that this wine happens to be one of the ones they're paying the most attention to right now. She asks him, oh really? Our girl rests her head on her palms with her elbows on the table. She wonders what's this? He's actually handling himself better than she thought. Was the last woman simply not to his liking? She observes his date and admits that she looks radiant. She thinks that with this kind of atmosphere, getting a second meeting is practically guaranteed. Well, she's done her part, so should she go? She gestures at the waiter and pays her bill. Our guy sees her leaving with her leftovers. She thanks the waiter as she goes out the door, and he thanks her for visiting. Our guy wonders if she plans to walk around in that drunk state. A woman alone, at this hour? Then again, her leaving is actually a good thing, isn't it? He doesn't have to worry about her, so that's nice. His date cleans her mouth as she finishes eating. She asks him if he minds inviting her to his winery sometime. He looks at his watch and says, sure, they have an experience program at the winery. A professional guide will explain the production process in detail. She asks him, how about he gives her the tour himself, Mr. Lakers? He says that he's sorry but he's been quite busy lately. She smiles and tells him, then, when he's done with his busy work, he says that's unlikely to change anytime soon. She says that he's rejecting her, isn't he? He nods. She gets up and tells him, thank you for being straightforward, there's nothing worse than someone beating around the bush just to save face. She'll take her leave now. He stands up and walks after her, saying that he hopes today's events don't bring any disadvantage to the matchmaker. She really did her best. She says that she'll make sure of it, then. Goodbye. He slams his hand on the table and asks himself what on earth is he going to do right now? Everything's been a mess since she showed up in his life. Well, at least there's only one more of these ridiculous blind dates left. He says to himself that drinking like this doesn't feel too bad, though. Next, we see our girl going into her kitchen with a pounding headache. She groans from the pain and says that mixing everything last night was a mistake. This hangover is killer. She wonders why she went so overboard yesterday. She doesn't even know if she was in a good or bad mood. She gets a text from someone called Jay. It reads, Manager, the conversation yesterday wasn't bad, but the result wasn't exactly positive. Have a great day. Our girl reads it and thinks, wait, what? The mood was good yesterday, wasn't it? She needs to follow up. She makes a phone call to the female date of the day before. She says, hello client, could she let her know what didn't work for her yesterday? Did the other party perhaps say something odd? The date says, odd? No, nothing like that. The conversation was fine. It's just she didn't get the feeling he was into her. He seemed constantly distracted the whole time, constantly looking elsewhere. Our girl thinks, this guy again. Then she says that she's so sorry about this. Truly, she doesn't even know what to say to make it up to her. The date laughs and tells her that there's no need to apologize. It's not her fault, manager. Besides, it's no big deal. Why should she get upset just because a guy didn't choose her? By the way, Mr. Lakers seems to trust her quite a bit. This information shocks our girl down to her core, and she says, hey, what does she mean? The date says that to be honest, she was thinking of giving up on the blind date and everything yesterday, but she changed her mind. If someone as picky as Ethan Lakers trusts her, then she figured that she might be worth trusting too. Anyway, let her know when the next meeting date is set. Our girl says, okay, enthusiastically. After the call hangs up, she thinks, trust her? The same guy who wanted to cancel his contract last week? Why is he acting so suspiciously? Then she gets a text from our male lead secretary saying that the director wants to have a meeting. Is she free today? She thinks, what? He's never contacted her first before. Why's everything he does lately so suspicious? Is he about to cancel the contract? Widen at the last thought. Next, we see Noah talking to Ethan. He tells him that yes, he'll go see what's going on and report back immediately. Our guy sighs and says that he needs to understand what's going on and why she hasn't shown her face. This isn't a game, it's a contract. Noah leaves the room. He sighs again and gets up from his chair angrily. He asks how long is he supposed to wait for Noah to call back? Our guy puts on his office coat, comes out of his office, and goes down the hall searching for Noah. He comes out of the mansion to see Noah about to drive off, and he commands Noah to come out of the car. Noah looks surprised to see his boss ordering him to come out of the car. He asks what? Ethan says that it seems he needs to go. The secretary asks if he's going to Good Couple Studio by himself. The mere thought of his boss going himself to meet our main girl surprises him to his core. Our main guy says yeah, he'll handle the breakup himself, and Noah should just go. Then he gets into the car and drives off. His secretary gives one more try to stop him by saying that he thinks Ethan should calm down, that he didn't expect it to be this urgent. Next, we see our girl typing away on her computer in her office. Her phone rings and it distracts her from her work. She picks up the call and someone asks what. It's Noah. Our girl echoes his name in shock and she thinks that, come to think of it, they said they'd contact her last week, or was it the week before? What should she do? Answer or not? Then she says into the phone, this is Good Couple Studio. Noah shouts her name and asks her if she is still on a business trip. She tells him no and that she's at the office right now. She was just about to call him actually. He says perfect, he was worried she might make a wasted trip, he's on his way to her office now. She asks right now? He's already left? He says that he'll be there soon. Next, we see a man climbing up the stairs to her office and opening her office door. She breaks into a sweat, in a panic, and says Noah, she's really sorry for the late reply. Next, we see our guy at the door to her office and he asks her so she knows it's something to apologize for. She lights up like a Christmas tree as she says Lakers. He asks her if she's laughing right now. Our girl thinks that she couldn't help it, she was so happy to see them. Wait, happy? What's wrong with her? Smiling in a situation where the contract might be cancelled. She asks him why is he here? He responds that why? Why hasn't she been answering her calls? Did she forget about the meeting? Our girl says Laker, he came all the way here because of the meeting. He says that she still owes him the agreed number of meetings, doesn't she? She says so is he saying he came because he couldn't wait to have another date. He stuffs his hands in his pocket and says that's right. She asks him could it be his starting to get interested. She thinks that thank goodness, it's not as bad as she thought. He says it's not interesting, it's the contract. A contract is a promise that must be kept, isn't it? She thinks right, sorry for not keeping the promise. If she had known it would be like this, she would have called sooner. She gestures to the lovely seats in her office and tells him well, he should sit and talk first. She says that she'd offer him something to drink, but they're out right now, how about some yogurt? He crosses his arms dismissively as he sits and says no thanks, she can have it. She says oh my, she's already opened it, she'll even stick her spoon in for him. This office is cramped, isn't it? She's thinking of moving to a bigger one next year. He says that it's not exactly spacious, but first shouldn't she finish their work quickly? She looks saddened by his words as she asks him if he is in that much of a hurry. Once the third date is over, they'll never see each other again. He tells her that wasn't she the one who requested that he should take this seriously. She tilts her head to the side and says but still, it's a little disappointing, a bit sad. Maybe she's grown attached without realizing it. Lakers, he probably doesn't understand this feeling, does he? Then he says that well, even hate can turn into affection. She asks him if he is sympathizing with her now. He tells her just a little. She says so Lakers can sympathize after all, she thought he was made of stone. He looks at her incredulously and asks what. She gets up from her seat across him and says see? Jokes don't even land with him. She pokes at him, laughing as she says that is he seriously made of stone or something. He holds her hand before her finger can make contact with his body, and she thinks whoops. He wonders how can this woman be so defenseless? She's alone in a room, what if things didn't go as planned? He thinks that is insane, how could he entertain such inappropriate things? He asks her angrily, what is she doing right now? She says no, she was just joking. He says that they're not close enough to joke like this, are they? She moves back to her seat as she breaks a sweat. She tells him that if she offended him, she's sorry. He steers the conversation by saying anyway, there's only one more date left now. She raises a glass to him and says that they should toast, even if it's a yogurt. This time, he'll properly cooperate, right? He says that yes, he understands. She says that at least he should pretend to toast. They clink the cups of yogurt together. She tells him that she's giving him his favorite one, this stuff is really good. She peels the wrap of the yogurt cup and licks the wrapper. He imagines her to be a bunny and he's the big bad wolf. He thinks that this is driving him crazy. She asks him why. He looks at her angrily and asks her why she is licking the lid. That's gross. She says that he doesn't get it, does he? This is the best part. It's her favorite part when eating yogurt. He asks her, isn't that a bit childish? Then she asks what does he like, Mr. Lakers? He asks her what is she trying to get at now. She says that she's genuinely curious now. What makes someone like him the happiest? Oh, and they should leave wine out of it. He asks her that why would they leave that out? It's the most important thing. She says that she already knows how much he loves wine, he should tell her something new this time. He thinks for a while, something other than wine. He's never seriously thought about that. Wine is like an irresistible destiny for him. Since he was very young, Helen, his grandmother, had always reminded him. Next, we see a very young Ethan and his grandmother in black outfits. Helen kneels before him and calls out his name, then she tells him that he must not let his father's efforts for Lakers go to waste. He should always remember that. In this life, when does he have time to think about any other happiness? He tells her that he doesn't have anything like that. If she takes the Lakers away from him, what's left? She points a spoonful of yogurt at him and says oh, he just hasn't figured it out yet. He says that he hasn't figured it out. He just told her that he doesn't have one. She laughs it off and says that did he know? People often don't know themselves as well as they think, there are parts of themselves that they simply can't see. That's why sometimes through someone else's eyes, they discover parts of themselves they never knew. He looks at her wordlessly as she speaks. Then she says so, how about this? He should let her discover those parts of him that even he doesn't know, she says happily with some yogurt by her mouth. He says well, she should first maybe clean her mouth a little before saying that. She looks at him confused as she asks what's on her mouth. She cleans one side but misses the yogurt altogether and he tells her not that side, the other side. She laughs and says right, she was talking while making a mess, wasn't she? He gets up and points at her mouth and says so not there, but. Then he moves closer to her to remove it by himself. She blushes at his actions. He asks her isn't she a little too sloppy for a grown adult? She realizes that coming so close so suddenly, then she laughs and says that she'll wipe it off and thanks him. He knows that he does have a kind side, Mr. Lakers. He looks at her pointedly and says kind, huh? That's the first time he's heard that. She leans forward and says see? She already discovered something about him. What does he think? Her sticking by his side to help him out, doesn't it sound like a good idea? He hums and says well. Then she says with all these data, she'll find the perfect match for him. He reminds her of a stone statue that she has finally been able to make a crack. She thinks so that was what this is about. Tells him that it's the last matchmaking meeting, he has to meet the right person this time. They should do their best, shall they? She gives him her hand for a handshake and he returns it and says all right, it's the last one. Next, we see a grape plantation. Workers are moving around and plucking grapes. Our girl waves at them and says hello Noah. Noah calls back her name in greeting and smiles as he says judging by her smile, he guesses that yesterday's talk went well. She says that of course, she thinks this matchmaking will definitely be a success. He asks her what is she saying, he's actually going through with it? She looks determined as she says of course, this time, they're making sure they get married no matter what. The secretary breaks a sweat as he asks that even the CEO agreed to it. She tells him definitely, he was even more proactive than her, he even urged her to schedule the next meeting quickly. Noah says what? He thinks that the CEO she saw back then, he was practically tearing his heart out.
Has Ethan ever been so emotionally shaken by someone before?
Lane tells him that this time, she's making extra sure everything is thoroughly prepared. She's going to understand everything about Lakers, his preferences, his habits, likes, dislikes. Once she's got it all, she'll arrange the perfect match. He tells her but the CEO doesn't show that side of him easily, that's not going to be simple. Our girl says that's why Noah, she needs him to help her.
He echoes me?
She says that she needs to know his schedule to observe him closely. He asks what?
Is she planning to follow him around?
The CEO becomes 10 times more sensitive when he's working. He gets unbelievably difficult to deal with. Next, we see our main guy join the convo. He taps Noah on the shoulder and says that's enough gossiping about his boss. Noah jumps in fright. He calls out his name and feels his soul leave his body. Our girl drags the attention back to her and says hello, Mr. Lakers, good morning to you. Our guy returns the greeting. Noah looks at the two of them confused and asks so the two of them have already talked.
Seriously?
Our guy asks him why does he keep asking? He told him yes. Noah shakes his head in disbelief as he says no way. Then he whispers that is he really saying that he's going to get married? Ethan looks at Noah strangely and asks why? Isn't that what he wanted too? Then he waves at him and walks away while saying that anyway, that's how it is, so he should do his best to cooperate. Our female protagonist chases after him and tells him to wait for her. She asks him if it is okay if she takes photos or videos. He tells her that anything that leaves a record would be a bit problematic. She says that she can show him and if needed he can delete them immediately. Noah breaks a sweat as he watches them talk and he asks himself what should he do. He thinks that Chloe, there's been a major development in their plan. He's realized that they overlooked something important. Ethan tells Lane not to get too close. Then Noah continues to think that his boss is completely inexperienced when it comes to romance. They say that Ethan Lakers is a man crazy about work, but she didn't know it was to this extent. After following the man around, she found he doesn't waste even a single second.
Analysis?
What analysis? Just watching him leaves her breathless. No, she did analyze it in her own way. This man's life revolves solely around the Lakers family, and if they remove the Lakers family from his life, there's nothing left. To think she asked such a carefree question about happiness to a person like this. Next, we see our guy giving instructions to someone. No, not there, put it here please. Our girl continues to think, and when he's focused, he becomes almost frighteningly sensitive. One of the workers taps her and says that he's noticed her for a while now. She's not one of the winery staff, is she? She says no, she's not an employee, she handles other work for the president. He laughs and says oh, he sees, he's been curious for a while so he gathered the courage to talk to her. She points at herself and asks her? She wonders what's with this young man? He's handsome. He gives her a can of water and scratches the back of his head awkwardly and says here, she should take this and have a little break. She says oh my, thank you. He says that she caught his eye because she's so beautiful. Especially her eyes, she's really stunning. She laughs and says oh my, he has quite the eye for things, doesn't he? Then she asks herself that wait, is this flirting? Now that she thinks about it, it's been a while since she's dated. He says that he means it, he thought she was a flower. She says a flower, you say, and she starts laughing. Shall they rest over there for a moment? She thinks that this guy doesn't seem so bad, is he? Our guy sweats badly as he begins to hear laughter and he asks who's laughing like that. He sees one of his workers talking to Lane while sitting under the shade of the tree. He pokes her cheek and she blushes. Our guy points at them and says, "You over there, come here." He scolds our girl saying that doesn't she feel bad for the people working hard? She clears her throat and says that it's almost lunchtime though. He asks what? She asks aloud that everyone wants to eat and rest, right? He says no, but there are still 10 minutes left. Noah taps him and gives him puppy dog eyes, and our guy asks him what now? Noah begs him. Our guy budges and says fine, they'll do it, take a break. He directs at everyone, they should eat lunch and then finish what they were doing, dismissed. Everyone shouts in joy at the prospect of resting. One of the workers removes his cap and says that they must thank the savior who delivered them from hunger. He walks to her and curtsies as he says that it's nice to meet her. He's George, he's been researching and developing wine here for a long time. She smiles warmly and says oh hello, she's Lane, the president's marriage consultant. He scratches his chin and says oh, he sees, that won't be easy, this guy has no experience with romance. Our guy joins the conversation, calls the man's name and tells him to please refrain from saying unnecessary things. Lane hides a smile behind her hand and says that she's working on it. George raises a finger and says unnecessary things. She says, this guy really, he's so sensitive and cold, doesn't know how to joke and works unnecessarily hard, tiring out the people around him. In short, apart from his beautiful exterior, he doesn't have a single attractive trait. Our guy takes offense as he says what? Our girl realizes how spot on the worker is in his analysis of his boss. She asks him how can he be so accurate. He laughs and says that this young lady and him get along well. Shall he show her some good wine? She reddens and says wow, really? Sounds good. Our guy looks annoyed as he says George, he's not taking her to the wine cellar, is he? George makes a silly face at his boss as he says yes, he's a rascal. Then he taps our girl and pulls her along with him. He says come on, they should go, he'll show her some delicious wine. Our guy says wait. How can he show an outsider that place? Next, we see George and Lane at the wine cellar. He says that the taste and aroma of the wine change depending on this fermentation vessel, that's why these barrels are important. Not many wineries replace oak in a timely manner. Ethan tells her that they're so expensive after all, it's not easy for small wineries to replace containers frequently. Our girl opens her mouth in awe. George says that's why he works for a rich guy. He opens one of the barrels and pours out some wine into a glass. He gives it to her and says here, she should try this, he picked it especially well. She should take it and tell him honest feelings. She says that she's not really good at tasting wine, though. Ethan tells her that she doesn't have to know everything to enjoy it, she should just enjoy it as it is. He says that's good enough. The glass and says then she'll give it a try. She sips the wine. The taste got deeper as it rolled in her mouth. It started to taste slightly sweet, a light and refreshing sweetness that isn't sticky, fresh yet smooth. She says that as she swirled it in her mouth, it became sweeter. Our girl says that it started nutty but turned sweet, it's like eating apricot jam on bread. George says exactly, it has a fresh taste that isn't overly mature, that's why this wine is called Chai Lover. She gushes and says oh my, how romantic. He rests on one of the barrels and says that there's a little secret to this fresh flavor. If she drinks this wine and kisses her lover, a special taste comes out. He's already tested it with his wife, it's a heavenly taste he wants everyone to try. Our girl drinks and realizes it's a heavenly taste. Our guy whispers to her not to be fooled, it's just a clever sales trick. Lane says that she believes it. She says that heavenly taste, she wants to experience it too, and she wants to recommend it to her clients. George says miss, her honesty is very charming, but she can't experience that special taste alone, can she? Then he points at his boss and Noah and says that maybe she can use those guys over there as a substitute. Our girl reddens and says with those people? George asks his boss that come to think of it, when was his last kiss? He shouldn't tell him that he's forgotten how to do it. Our guy looks annoyed as she tells him to stop it, it's not funny and he can stop laughing now. Our girl says what can she do? Uncle George keeps making her laugh. George says that wine was originally made by monks, wasn't it? It seems to suit someone as pure as he very well. Ethan takes the drink from our girl and says that he has warned her multiple times, she's the one who ignored the warnings. He pulls her closer and says that if she's so curious about that special taste, he guess he has no choice but to show her. Our girl asks herself if he plans to kiss her. Our girl tells him to hold on for a moment. Then he leans downward and kisses her. George and Noah are jaw-slacked by the sight. They break the kiss and Ethan crosses his hands as he says that he told them that he doesn't like jokes. He can definitely sense a unique sweetness. This will surely help with wine research. Thank you. His words confuse our girl and make her turn even redder. She thinks that what on earth is this situation? She's so confused that she can't even think. She doesn't think she can even control her expression. At this rate, it might cause a misunderstanding. She flees the site and says that they should excuse her first. George panics and says, oh dear, did he take the joke too far? In the evening we see our girl sprawled on a white couch groaning. She thinks that come to think of it, she didn't even properly say goodbye to Uncle George. He even suggested they have a meal together. Seriously, she couldn't think straight. Of all things, a kiss with Ethan Lakers. What kind of consultant kisses a client anywhere in the world? She feels her senses are evading her. Why on earth did he kiss her? And she even went along with it. He really didn't show any change in his expression, it was only her face that turned red. Right, there's no way he has feelings for her. This was just an accident, like a minor collision. It's the person who stays calm after a sudden accident that's strange. It's only natural for her to be confused right now. It's really natural, so why does her heart feel so heavy? She gets a phone call from a guy named Jacob. She picks up the call and the person says, yo, Lane, he's on his way home. He asks her why is her face like that? Is she sick? She says that no, it's not that she's sick, she just came back to the office after working a while. Jacob asks her that jerk isn't bothering her again, is he? Didn't he tell her not to work with such a rude guy? She says no, it's not that today. Today she kissed that man. She realizes that if she told Jacob this, it would only make him worry more, and if he finds out how unsettled she is right now. Jacob grabs her attention back to the phone as he asks her if she is okay. She thinks that she'd get teased about it forever. She says that she's really craving pizza today. Does he want to have some with her together? He asks what's this? Lowering her voice just to say that? He'll pass today, he's almost home now. He hangs up, bye. She falls back to the chair and thinks that there's no one she can really talk to. Could it be that she likes that man? Next, we see our guy and Noah in his office. Noah says to him that the plans were cancelled because of the rain. Why doesn't he rest a little? He tells him that he's fine. The secretary asks him shouldn't he apologize to Lane. She seemed really flustered, she's not someone who would just leave like that. He doesn't think she even realizes she left her purse behind. Our male protagonist sighs and tells him to bring it to her. He keeps thinking about the kiss. Noah tells him that he thinks it'd be better if he went himself. Our guy stammers him. Noah says that whether it's to apologize or to console her, he should go and tell her how he truly feels. Then maybe Lane will give him an answer too, doesn't he think? Then he smiles smugly, drops the purse on the office table, and leaves the office. Ethan thinks true feelings, she was definitely different from any other woman he's met before. Her laughter, every little expression, even the way she got angry, this feeling, maybe it's been there from the very beginning. He takes the purse and ambles to the door. He thinks that he should at least try to say something. Later, we see thunder in the sky and our girl still on the couch. She asks herself, has she been out this long? She shoots up to check her phone and says to herself that what time is it? She needs to go home. She begins to search for her handbag and she asks herself where is it? It is driving her crazy. Why is life this serious? Next, someone knocks on her door. She breaks a sweat as she asks who is it? She thinks that there shouldn't be anyone coming at this hour. Is it a client? Or maybe. She opens the door a crack and says that they're currently outside of business hours, so. She stops talking when she sees who's outside the door. She opens it wider to reveal Mr. Lakers in a wet green suit. He walks into the room and she asks him what brings him here. He comes closer to her and he says that he came to see her. She blushes at his words and he cups her face. She asks why her, all of a sudden. He says that he has something to say. She asks what. He calls her name and kisses her. After she answers, he breaks the kiss and says that this is what he wanted to say. If she doesn't like it, even a little, she should just tell him, he'll stop. She hears Jacob calling her name to snap out of it. Next, we see that our girl is dreaming. Jacob wakes her from her sleep on the couch as he asks her what kind of dream was she having to make noises like that. Our girl asks aloud, a dream? Then she turns red as she realizes that was all a dream. Oh, she must be losing her mind. She admits to her friend that she had a nightmare. Then she asks him what brings him to the office. He tells her that she said she wanted pizza. Then she looks confused as she asks him, wait, was he not eating? Jacob says that her voice sounded so downcast, he came to share pizza with her. Next we hear her stomach grumble. He points to the door with his thumb and tells her that they should go before the pizza place closes. As they climb down the stairs, he says that she's acting really weird today, her face even looks red. Is she sure she's not actually sick? She tells him that she's fine, so he shouldn't worry about it. Then she thinks that it's not that she's sick, it's because she had a strange dream. This is really strange, she even feels like she can smell his scent around her now. Why did she have that dream? She did fall asleep thinking about Mr. Lakers, but still that was just two. Jacob asks her why does she keep getting sick? It's making people worry. She says that she's fine, he shouldn't overdo it. He winks at her and tells her that he's her ex, so this level of concern is okay, right? She says that didn't she tell him not to bring that up? How long is he going to milk that one time they went to the graduation party together? He asks how long ago is he talking about? Should she just go home? He can eat the pizza by himself. He tells her that he's kidding. They come outside the office and walk together under an umbrella in the rain. Our guy sees them from his car. He sighs and rests his head on the wheel. He says to himself how foolish, he needs to apologize. But after that, would that kiss from that day feel like just a joke? Never absolutely a joke, even if he went back to that moment, he would have acted the same way. The moment he saw her smiling at him, but it's already too late to think she already has someone. He rests his hand on his head and says that he must be out of his mind. He turns on the car and drives away with her purse in his back seat. Next, we see our girl looking at her own reflection in a small mirror while sitting in the back seat of a car. She thinks that she should keep her expression in check, she absolutely can't let her feelings. Wait, is she doing this to look pretty right now? She's lost it, completely lost it. How is she supposed to keep a poker face like this? She's doomed, absolutely doomed. Next, she calls out to the driver and asks if Ethan Lakers sent this car by any chance. The driver tells her that no, it was sent by Helen Lakers. She asked to see her briefly after business today. Our girl looks surprised as she asks what? She thinks that Helen Lakers, that man's grandmother. Why would she want to see her? Could it be because word got out about the kiss with Ethan? She imagines the older woman shouting at her that how dare she act up next to him, she's fired. Her head's a mess, she feels like she's going to throw up. The driver tells her that they've arrived. The car stops in front of the mansion and Noah helps her out of the car. He tells her that he's been worried since he hadn't heard from her as the time got closer. He thought maybe she was upset about yesterday and decided not to come. Our girl asks yesterday? She looks flustered as she says that she's fine with things. She thinks that dream keeps coming back to her, she needs to calm down. He smiles and says if that's the case, he's relieved. By the way, Lane, did she know that she looks absolutely stunning today? Our girl laughs as she echoes his compliment, she wore a very pretty flare gown. He asks her that does she have plans after work? Like a date or something. She says yes, something like that. Noah looks shocked as he asks her that isn't he really going on a date? Our girl thinks that she should please stop asking. They walk to the field and she sees Ethan there. He asks her if she has arrived. She blushes and asks if he slept well. He runs his hand through his hair and says yes, thanks to her, by the way she left her bag behind. It's on his desk in his office, so she can come pick it up later. She says oh right, her bag. Then Noah thinks as he watches them that so he didn't end up going yesterday, did he? She says that she can just go and get it now, how about having a morning coffee together? He says no, he'll give it to Noah, so she can pick it up later. She asks him why, weren't they supposed to move together?
Isn't it enough already?
He says that the observation or whatever is sufficient. She thinks that why is he being so grumpy? Is he embarrassed about what happened yesterday? Our girl tells him to wait a moment. He turns away from her. She tells him that she still wants to observe more, because she enjoys getting to know him. He says that he's sorry, but he's not enjoying it, in fact, it's more annoying. Our girl looks sad as she echoes annoying. He says that yes, it gets in the way while he's working and he's tired of people asking who she is, and more than that. He says that her laugh is annoying and she looks heartbroken. As she can see, he's someone who has to be careful and serious at every moment. He doesn't have the luxury to work like her, laughing and having fun. Noah looks shocked by his words. He continues to say that what he is saying, he'd like her to stop here. Having her around is uncomfortable. Our girl lets a lone tear slip down. If you're eager for the next chapter, drop a comment expressing your interest in a part 3. Don't forget to subscribe and ensure to hit the notification bell to stay updated. Until next time.